Guys, welcome back to Soccer Podcast. Oh, it's been a while. It's been wow. It's your host. It's your host as always, the exceptional Mohammed Edin. You can call me Cantona. So I'm really excited to be back, man. It's been like 6 months, man, and that's a long time in football. The season hadn't even started yet, but now we're in the middle of the season. I mean, we even had Chelsea start up their pace, and now look at them. So today on the 26th of December, halfway into the season, and City sit up there on 44 points as Liverpool closely follow at 41 points, and Chelsea and Arsenal finish off the top four with 6 points between them. Well, so far the best defensive team has been Manchester City, considering just a staggering 9 goals in 18 games. That's like 2 goals. Okay, 2 games, 1 goal. And the most offensive team has been Liverpool with 50 goals. Wow, I'm still thinking of how they ripped apart Manchester United and Arsenal. Well, the relegation zone is real tight, on the other hand, but it's just 1 point between Norwich City at last place and Burnley at number 18. Well, there's a team between them. It's called Newcastle. It's at 10 points, tied with the best last team, but there's still hope because it's just 10 points between the last team and number 11. So the second leg of the season will be really crucial. There have been concerns over the COVID-19 affected teams as games have been postponed for like 2 weeks. Yeah, for the previous 2 weeks, Tottenham, Leicester, Manchester United haven't been playing. Where United have 2 games in hand. If they win, they'll go to number four. Tottenham, on the other hand, have 3 games in at hand. If they win, they're gonna go into the top four position as well. So we're gonna have a change in the top four race. For teams like Arsenal and West Ham, who sit at number 4 and 5 respectively at the moment. So this weekend we had 10 fixtures scheduled. It's on Boxing Day, so obviously we have all the fixtures on one day, but due to the change in schedules and fixtures, we're gonna have 6 fixtures that will go on today and one tomorrow. We have had 3 games that have been postponed. That is Liverpool versus Leeds, Wolves versus Watford, and Burnley versus Everton. Where Liverpool versus Leeds, the away team Leeds doesn't have enough fit players to play the match due to COVID and injury concerns. Liverpool, on the other hand, had 3 players out with COVID. That is Van Dijk, Fabinho, and Curtis Jones, but they were due to be back for this game. Wolves versus Watford was also postponed. This is due to COVID issues within the away team. Wolves started the season on a bad note where they even had to sack their coach, but now they sit at 8th on the polls and 25 points, which is a really good improvement. And Watford, on the other hand, lay on the relegation spot, just above the relegation spot, on 13 points. The other postponed game was Burnley versus Everton. This is because of COVID as well and injury concerns for the away team, where Everton, which is the away team, last time had to play a barren draw against Chelsea, since they had to put a younger and weaker team out. Yeah. Burnley have just one win in 16 league games with 8 draws on the cards, leaving them in the relegation spot. So enough of the postponed games. Let's look at today's games. We have Man City. Man City will be racking up against Leicester City. Man City have 10 wins in 11 league games, seeing them sit atop of the league coming into the Christmas period. But they're just 3 points ahead of second favorites Liverpool. However, Leicester City beat them 5-2 last season, and they will be looking to win again at the Etihad, with key players being rested against Liverpool in the EFL clash that happened in the midweek, where Liverpool won, but they were 3-1 down at halftime against Leicester City. But what a game! What a game! So many good goals have been scored on that day. Okay, Leicester, Leicester have some players that could be a doubt to feature in for this fixture. They include Jamie Vardy, Soyuncu, Johnny Evans, and Ricardo Pereira. Another game going on today will be Norwich. They will host Arsenal as they look to extend their 5-match winless run. The Canaries have been out of action for 2 weeks due to COVID, but they will face a resurgent Arsenal, who have won 3 straight games and not conceded a first half goals in 4 games. Um, Another game will be Tottenham. They'll be hosting Crystal Palace. Tottenham have missed 3 games on the road, so they have to take advantage of this home game. Tottenham were recently knocked out of the Conference League after their match against Rennes was forfeited due to COVID-19. Well, on the other hand, Palace, under new coach Patrick Vieira, who started off the season, have been a team to watch out for, and that is summed up as they recently beat City 2-0 at the Etihad, and fans really had hope. But right now, they currently sit 11th on 20 points, having lost 3 games and won just one and drawn one in their previous 5. West Ham, on the other hand, they'll be hosting struggling visitors Southampton as they look to get back to winning ways and be in the top 4 again. Southampton have lost 3 and drawn 3 in their last 6, and that's poor since they have led at halftime in 3 of their last 4 games. Wow. Gerard Gerrard's Aston Villa will be facing European giants Chelsea as Aston Villa look to continue their impressive run under Steven Gerrard. Chelsea have drawn back-to-back games, denting their title hopes early, and had to get 2 penalties against Leeds to secure 2 wins in their last 7 games. That is 5 draws and 2 wins. Another game that will be going on is Brighton versus Brentford. This is a battle between two teams tied at 20 points each, but having played 16 games, meaning they have 2 games at hand. Brighton started the season on a winning form with 4 wins and 1 loss in their first 5 games, but now they are on an 11-game winless run as Brentford look to toughen things up, having just come from their midweek cup elimination against Chelsea. Another fixture taking place will be tomorrow as the Red Devils will be taking on Newcastle at St. James Park. Newcastle have conceded the most goals in the league this season at 41 goals and counting, and that makes them sit level on points with the last team, that is Norwich City. Manchester United have not scored in their opening 15 minutes this season, having 73% of their goals in the second half, so they wouldn't mind trailing against a poor Newcastle, having won most points from a trailing position against Newcastle than any other team in the Premier League's history. Wow, what a comeback team. Um, okay, those are the fixtures for today and tomorrow. Okay, on the Fantasy Premier League, it's been a tough time, for team managers as games have been postponed and injuries creeping in. But on our next segment, we will have a closer look at the Fantasy Premier League and what tips managers can look out for to get maximum points. Hey, don't use that triple captain yet. I'll tell you why.